Deacon Malachi.
Yes, sir.
Deacon Malachi. What is tithe?
What is
That's
tithe?
the topic for today. What is tithe? What is it about?
According to the Bible, when you read the first book of Levitical law, when you read, when you look at the Levi, out of all the 12 tribes, God picked one tribe that was Levi, which is the high priest.
Okay.
God commanded the rest of the children of Israel. The Levi, they have no inheritance, by the way.
Okay.
The rest of the 11, they're supposed to take care of the Levi. And God called it tithe. For example, tithe wasn't supposed to be money. Tithe was never money.
Okay.
When you read through the Bible, tithe is not money. The tithe that God asked the other Israelite to take care of the Levi is livestock, vegetable, just stuff that's not actually money.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
We're going to read something for you where, you know how the children of Israel used to worship back in Jerusalem. They used to go to Jerusalem to worship. God actually told them, if they live far, they're going to go to Jerusalem to worship. Because, you know, they used to do sacrifice, right?
Okay.
He actually told them, if they cannot carry the livestock to sacrifice in Jerusalem, they can sell it. When they get to Jerusalem, guess what? They cannot give that money to the Levite. They have to, we buy that livestock.
Okay.
That's how serious God is with this.
Okay.
So tithe was never money. Tithe is something God put in place to take care of the high priest, which was the Levite. Today, these pastors here in Ghana are no Levite. They're not. There's some Haitians in Haiti, they are the tribe of Levi. But today, Jesus Christ is the high priest. There is no temple where we do sacrifice. So tithe, that's what tithe is according to the Bible.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed.
Luke chapter 8, verse 11. That's what y'all doing. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Read.
Seed is the word.
Yeah.
That the field.
The field is the earth. Let me give you a precept for it. Matthew 13 and 38. The field is the world.
You also got field is land, right?
The land. Yes.
Proverbs 24 and 30. You also got Isaiah 32:16, Genesis 5:29, Genesis 3 and 7, and Genesis 2 and 7. Precepts keep coming.
That the field bringeth forth year by year.
See that?
Right.
One day is 1,000 years to the Most High. So a year is understanding.
The understanding coming.
Yes. Next verse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
23.
I'm looking at my pad. I'm all into the class of my pad. Yeah, go ahead, read.
Yes. Verse 23. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
Learn.
In the place.
What are you doing is breaking bread. Read.
In the place.
Right here. Right here. This happening right now. Read.
Which he shall choose to place his name there.
Don't y'all understand what's going on? Y'all understand it? That right now, his authentic name, the word of God, what he's saying. Read.
The tithe of thy corn,
food, learning,
and thy wine,
the doctrine,
and thine own oil,
spiritual interpretation. Ain't you getting it from that olive tree right there? Elder King Yohanan?
Yes, sir.
He giving that all.
Yeah, he's the olive tree.
Yes. See that? He giving it. He's teaching. Read.
And the firstling of thy herds and thy
y'all.
flocks.
See that? That's y'all.
Y'all the firstling, first fruit.
Yes.
Because y'all bringing forth tithes.
Yes. See that? You see that? Elder Styles, he fast on It's told what?
Y'all will get more understanding here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
That thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
That thou mayest learn.
See that? Learn.
So how is you taking tithe the corn and tithe the wine and oil and bringing it to a church? You learning anything?
Yeah.
You're not learning anything. How are you learning to fear the God?
And what they do, they talking about this food right here. I mean, carnal food, man. He ain't talking about no carnal food.
Whenever I was a kid, man, we used to do that communion thing, and I never understood why we was eating that. They
a dry cracker,
and they, we were Pentecostal. We were Pentecostal, so they had that Welch's grape juice.
I know that's right.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, that Welch's juice was pretty decent. But I still didn't understand what we were doing. I mean, what are we doing?
This is the body that we broke for Christ.
Right.
Yeah, and in Catholic church, that's what you do. You prepare yourself, learn like a part of the Bible. So you are prepared to receive Christ's body and blood. So they soak the bread into wine. It was called I don't know it in English. It's like priest wine, something like that.
Say it in Spanish. Say it to people in Spanish.
Vino. I just forgot about it. Yeah, it's wine. It's like I'm gonna search for it right now. And they soak it. They soak it.
Juice.
They soak the bread in the bread's not called bread. It's called hostia. So it's really thin, round bread, hostia. And they soak it and they put it in your mouth. So that and they say receive Christ's body and blood. So it's like dry bread. It's like it's called hostia. So whenever they put it inside your mouth, it sticks to your tongue.
Sticks to your doctrine.
Right.
Hey, one more.
No, stay here, Elder. No, we're not going nowhere. We staying right here in this Deuteronomy.
Let me bring this up for you, just for something, for them to think about this right here, because we're thinking about money, right? And tithes and stuff. First Kings 10:21. Definitely used to.
Let's let him.
You got that one?
Yeah, he got it. You gonna teach? You gonna teach us?
I'll try to get you.
I got it. No. We go.
I got that. Hey, you got that one too, huh?
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, I found the name of the wine. In Spanish, it's called vino de consagrar. So you're consecrating while they put it in.
Okay,
yeah. When they put it inside, when they put it on the bread. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a doctrine of man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
They worshiping the token. They don't know what the real meaning of it behind the scenes is. All they doing is taking a bunch of that. Ain't no different than them folks going out there putting up tents out at the state park. Talking about, we doing tabernacle. The Most High the tent. He want you the tent. He want to dwell in you. They don't know what the metaphor is actually saying. And it's just the way that man just don't have the proper understanding. And these pastors have led these people wrong for all these many years, but they getting paid and they living a good life and they having all this renown and they not gonna give it up. So at the end of the day, the Most High, he gonna go on ahead and judge these people, but the ones that's got righteousness in their heart, naturally them people gonna be all right. But all these pastors who leading these people astray, making them think that just because they put a wet piece of bread in their mouth, they're going to get the kingdom. That's ridiculous.
Oh, but Elder, don't forget, you have to pay money, carnal money.
There you go.
To get that bread. It's not for free.
Right.
You have to pay because, and wait up. You have to use a garment. You have like girls and boys have to be wearing white clothes. Wow. If not, they're not allowed to go in. And the girls need to wear these dresses, like puffy dresses, nice, like party dresses, like the type of quinceañera dresses, but smaller. And because that's the way that you have to be dressed when you going to God's feet, because there's the cross, so the altar, and that's the way that you have to be presented to God while receiving your communion. So it's a lot of money because you have to pay that the garment. You have to pay. You have to pay a little book. That it's like a little Bible or a piece of a Bible that you have to take when you're in front of the priest and they rinse holy water. You have to light a candle, like it's a thick candle. You have to present that too, and like a rosary, you have to present that too. Wow! And you have to pay the church to be able to get that bread. Wow!
And we just read that scripture talking about you're supposed to get the word freely. And here these people up in here, they getting rich, and the people can't see it. And, people don't like that we talk like this, that we go and we explain to them people. Y'all ain't got to do that to get the kingdom of heaven. All those men, Christ said everybody that came before him was crooks and robbers. Then they all crooks and robbers. I don't care what religion or nationality and all that other stuff. Some people don't have no way to attach you to God because they making money because they didn't write the doctrine. The Most High wrote the doctrine. You ain't supposed to be paying to get the Most High's word.
He said
that's just not right.
He's gonna redeem you without any money. He said
without any money. Elder, I know you was going to your First Kings, but let me get this real quick because
go ahead.
It's floating right on the line.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's in my notes because you started bringing up. We got to go back to the food tithe because I was bringing out the land tithe, the food tithe. You brought the food tithe, so I'm gonna finish that.
Yeah, right, you don't have to explain. Yeah, this is going well, man. Go ahead.
So
I'm enjoying it.
You did, Elder?
2 Peter 2:1. But there were fault.
Let me get the thought. So, prophetess just mentioned about us paying money for to keep a doctrine of man to serve God. So they told you to do all this stuff to eat a cracker. So this is what God
status.
Right. So this is what God said about that. Read
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people. Even as there shall be false teachers among you.
Even as among you that you're reading. There's somebody that's spreading heresies, right? They still on the fence, right? Read.
Who privately shall bring in damnable heresies.
What is it out in the open? Privately. So that means you're sitting back and you're going into your own ways and your own mind in your house because you're not speaking one to another to help correct the doctrine. So you start going into your own mind and start creating doctrines.
Even denying the Lord that bought them.
Denying, you thinking that's your own mind that brought it up. You forget that God gave you the understanding. Read.
And bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Why? Because somebody can correct your doctrine, right? Read.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways.
Pernicious ways is what the sister just brought up about the cracker in the Catholic Church. That's a pernicious way, a pernicious doctrine, right? Going and paying money for Passover, for garments, for fringes, for Bibles, for all of that stuff is a pernicious way to the Lord. Read.
By reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken. And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you.
Prophetess, didn't you say you had to pay for all of that stuff?
Yes. Yes, they did.
So they make what out of you?
Merchandise.
So a merchant is the one that sold you.
Yes.
The merchant sold you. Now you merchandise. Now you money to him. That's why God told you that. Your money to him. Now your merchandise to this person, because guess what? You a member of that church, you're going to pay money for them tithes or alms. You're going to pay money for this event. You're going to pay money for this book. Rather be a precept packet or precept book or whatever pastor latest book on marriage, you're going to buy that too. Because you're thinking that all this that you're consuming is getting you closer to God, when it's really not. It's taking you from him.
Right.
Yes.
And
so they make him...
The word feign means fake.
Right.
Okay.
They fake words. Like they really don't care about you. They don't care about your salvation.
Right.
They care about you lying. They care about you lying in their pocket.
Yes.
With that money. That's what they want. They making merchandise of it. Read.
Whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not.
See, their judgment is now upon them. They're getting judged now. God is coming down on them now. They can sit here and act like there's nothing going wrong, but we clearly can see holes all in that doctrine, to the point where you embarrassing yourselves as grown men and fighting in the street over the word of God.
Yes.
What sense does that make?
Yes.
I never seen Creflo Church go against TDJ's church.
And got the same doctrine.
Yeah, same
doctrine.
But we supposed to listen to you, but y'all fighting in the street.
Right.
But their damnation slumbereth not. It's coming soon, right? So they're making merchandise of it. So when we go back to what Elder was saying earlier about because a lot of people use this, because they use this doctrine here about the tithe to tell the Christian church that it's not food, right?
That is not money. That is not money.
I'm sorry. Stand corrected. I'm sorry. That is not money. That is food. Okay. So to tell them that they're liars, but then we got alms over here. Right. So you pay alms, but you paying tithes is a lie. But alms is righteous, right? So let's deal with this food tithe, so we can get the full thing, the full day on this food tithe that Elder brought out earlier. So we go to verse 23.
Verse 23. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name.
So he's talking about eating. He's talking about where you should learn. There. Right? He's telling you. Right. This is where you're learning. Right. Read.
The tithe of thy corn and thy wine and thine oil and the firstlings of thy herds and thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
Always. So here's what you're bringing. Tithe is something that you're bringing. All right. So let's find out what a tithe is. Read.
Verse 24. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it.
Stop. So carnally, they said if you got Passover in Jerusalem, but you might have oxes and all that stuff, you can't drive all them oxes from Jerusalem to so then you had to go sell it for money, and then you got to go back to Jerusalem and buy back the cows that you got so you can be able to tithe. Am I right?
That's correct. That's how they teach it.
Okay.
That's how they teach it.
So now read that again.
And if the way be too long for thee,
the way, the truth, the light. So if the doctrine be too long for thee, you do not understand. Read.
So that thou art not able to carry it.
You can't carry it means you can't weigh it. You have to pick it up to weigh it. So if you can't pick it up to weigh it, means you don't have no understanding.
Right.
You got to pick it up with your hand. Your hand is your doctrine.
Right.
If you can't pick it up with your hand or your arms, it's too heavy for you. That's why I said it's too. It's unable to carry it. It's too heavy. The matter is too deep for you.
It's a burden.
Right.
The burden is the word. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you don't understand the word.
Read.
Or if the place be too far from thee.
So that doctrine, we in Jerusalem. You may be in Damascus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
Carnally.
Egypt.
You Egypt. And we in Jerusalem.
Yes.
We above, and you sitting there like, I don't understand how he said it. Wow. That's because you're in Egypt. It's too far from you.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there.
It said his word there.
When the Lord thy God hath blessed thee.
When the Lord thy God has taught you. Read.
Mm-hmm. Then shalt thou turn it into money.
Turn it into the doctrine. Read. And
bind up thy money in thine hand.
And thy doctrine.
Mm-hmm. You gonna start learning that doctrine.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And shalt go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
What's that place that God chose? Jerusalem. You'll go up. Right.
And thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. For oxen.
Is he talking about oxen? No, you're going to get members. These are members that you're going to start getting.
Or for sheep.
Followers.
Or for wine.
You start correcting doctrines.
Or for strong drink.
Strong doctrines, that strongholds in the Bible.
Strongholds.
Or
for whatsoever thy soul desireth.
Why? Because you start to answer the question. All those questions that you used to have in the Bible, you're going to start answering them. You start coming to the answers of them. So your soul started, the things that you were longing for, the questions, your soul starting to desire it now. You're starting to get filled. Read.
All the strongholds and everything. Terrible.
And thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God.
How you eat before the Lord thy God, you're learning and you're teaching. Right. Read.
And thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household.
You and your church.
Verse 27. And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him.
Why? Because he has to show you 2 or 3 precepts if you start to err. So if the Levite is there, if 2 brothers are striving. So if a brother say, well, I say it this way and I see it this way, so you come to the Levite, and Levite is supposed to say, this is what a hand is. And we're going to pull out all the precepts on hand. So this is what a hand is. Then you guys are supposed to go on your way. That's what the Levite does. Read.
For he has no part nor inheritance with thee.
Because he's not in your doctrine.
Correct.
The Levite is just like the he's straight down the middle for God.
Yeah,
you coming with a doctrine.
Yep.
You coming with a doctrine to him. So he don't have that inheritance he doesn't have with you because he's not in your doctrine.
Right.
So he's not inheriting. Yeah, he don't believe what you got. That's why he doesn't have no inheritance. They trying to say because he ain't got no land. The Lord ain't give him no land. No, he's not part of your doctrine. The Levite's only for God.
Yes.
Right.
That's it.
Right. That's right. At the end of 3 years.
How long?
3 years.
3 years.
Oh, there's a certain amount of time. So 3 years equates to 3 days. Same thing. So at the end of 3 days, read that. At the end, so you're going to what day?
4.
Third day.
No.
At the end.
I'm sorry.
You're going to what? The what day? So what can you do on the 4th day?
Teach.
Divide.
No. Oh, I heard it. What can you do on the 4th day? Divide
the word.
Divide the word on the 4th day. So this is what he's talking at the end of 3 years. So you're going to the 4th day or the 4th year.
Thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase from the same year.
So all the questions that you had in that doctrine that you had in that same year that you came from, you bring all them questions. That's what them tithes are. And you're gonna lay it up with at the gates. You're gonna bring it to the prophet.
Elders.
Yes.
Verse 29. And the Levite, because he has no part nor inheritance with thee.
With you, meaning he's not in your doctrine.
And the stranger.
The one that's teaching this strange doctrine.
And the fatherless.
The ones that don't believe in God.
And the widow.
The person those dead doctrines that he never had no understanding for.
Which are within thy gates.
That's in your church.
Shall come and shall eat and be satisfied.
Learn and be satisfied.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest.
So you can be able to teach the word. That's what he's telling you. So that is truly what tithes are. It's the questions that you bringing to the Levites or the priests, the ones who have the spiritual understanding. That's what a tithe is. That's what a land tithe is. I mean, a food tithe. Let's see what a land tithe is. Let's go to Leviticus. Is everybody following along? Everybody there? We sleeping?
No. You're good.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I don't know if it's too deep. I feel like sometimes, am I going too deep in water?
No.
You're okay.
Okay, we're going to the land tithe now.
They getting it.
I'm sorry, guys. This is week. Most having porn on me, so it's all over.
No. You good.
All right.
Leviticus chapter 27.
We're going to 29.
Leviticus chapter 27, verse 29. None devoted.
None.
Which shall be devoted of men shall be redeemed.
Redeem means to buy with what?
Money.
Money is what?
Understand the doctrine.
There you go. But
shall surely be put to death.
Be converted.
Right. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land.
And the seed is what? Prophets?
The word.
The word of that doctrine, yes.
Or the fruit of the trees.
What's the fruit?
Prophet.
The doctrine.
No.
Tree is a prophet.
Just-
The fruit
He's a
is
prophet.
doctrine. Yes.
the
The
tree is
word?
a prophet. The fruit
Yes.
is what he's teaching. Yes.
Yes.
Is the Lord's.
It is holy unto the Lord. And if a man will at all redeem all of his tithes,
all of his questions. So now if you've been paid back for the questions that you brought forth,
he shall add thereto a fifth part thereof.
remember I told you that he only had 2 parts before? They said he only had 2 parts. It was silver that was in 2 parts. So now if I add 5 parts to that 2 part, what do I have now?
5th day.
7.
7 days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see how the Lord plays with these numbers?
Yes.
So if I add the 5th part on it, it means you only had 2 days of understanding.
Right.
So you came with a carnal question and you came with a person, so that person got to give you full understanding on it. That's why he said the 5th part thereof. He has to give you the 7th day.
Give him that deal. I think it's either Ecclesiasticus or 2nd Ezra. It's 17:5. I know that much.
Sirach 17:5.
Sirach 17:5. So y'all can see what he talking about with these parts, okay? This a lot of this stuff is you don't see it on the surface. It goes a little bit deeper, but the Most High have to be able to give it to you. I'm gonna read it out and you can bring it up.
All right.
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 17, verse 5. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord.
Stop. So the first day, you had to understand there was a word. Word was void. That was the first day. Light was on the earth. So you got understanding. So now we got all the way to the 4th day where you're able to rightfully divide, right? So the 5th day, you're able to teach.
Right.
So now he said they received the use of what?
They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord.
So the 5 operations, you got up to the point of teaching.
Right.
Read.
And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding.
What type of understanding is he talking about here?
Spiritual.
Okay. Read.
And in the 7th, speech and interpret.
Speech, right? Speech. You can speak what? Right.
The word.
A spiritual.
An interpreter of the cogitations thereof.
So now you can interpret Remember it said you got to speak by the interpreter? You got to have what? 2 or 3
Precepts.
witnesses. There you go. So now you know how to use speak as an interpreter using 2 or 3 precepts. That's the 7th day, the 7th function.
That means you got complete understanding. You know how to rightly divide, because you can provide 2 or 3 precepts to tell what it means spiritually. Y'all got that?
Mm-hmm.
You can go on back, Elder.
Okay, so now we go to Leviticus 27. So now we're talking about his question. So 31.
And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithes, he shall add thereto the 5th part thereof.
Because you only got 2 days of understanding. So now he gave you total understanding. That's the 5th part thereof.
And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock.
Of the flock or the herd? The tithe of the herd or the tithe of the flock? So the questions are the followers.
Even of whatsoever passes under the rod.
That's corrected by that doctrine. That's under that doctrine.
The 10th shall be holy unto the Lord.
The 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. Of who? The people, of the flock. Yes, because it's not going to be everybody going to get it.
It says something about only a 10th going to get. It's a scripture that talk about the 10th of a remnant going to actually get that understanding.
That's basically what it's saying. The 10th is the remnant. It's going to get the understanding.
He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed.
What is he talking about here? I know it says confusion. He shall not search whether it be good nor bad. So what is he doing?
The doctrine he's talking about.
He's not searching.
He's not searching.
He's not using the. He's not using the precepts.
So what is he doing? He shall not search whether it be good or bad. Why?
The spiritual.
There you go.
Yeah.
Neither shall he change it. Why would he not change the doctrine?
Because it's spiritual.
Why? Well, you got to think. Why would he not do it? Don't you understand the why?
Because it's his doctrine.
Okay.
Because you're going against God's law.
Okay, if I came to you and I give you 2 precepts.
Okay.
And I prove that the water is the word, can you change it?
No.
Why?
Because it's supported on the precepts. Because it's
That's
the word.
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He shall not search whether it be good or bad because you gave him some precepts.
Okay.
Right.
You don't have to search because you done gave it to him.
Right. You don't want to get emotionally involved in it and all that. You got to go through the process. Like we say, we get up here, we do the deal. Hey, man, we brought the 2 or 3 precepts. That's what it means. That's it. You like we always say, read them and weep.
Right.
Read them and weep. So it don't matter. It don't matter what anybody think. It don't matter what we think. Most High said, if you give me them 2 or 3 precepts, he say my understanding in the middle of them 2 or 3 precepts. If you consistently can show that this word means this word means that, we don't care about what them carnal preachers talking about. We trying to get the mysteries. We care about what the mysteries say, because that's the only thing that's gonna heal you. Is the mystery.
Right.
All right. So that's what he said. Don't get caught up in, hey, look, bro, I gave you the 2 or 3 precepts. What's the problem? You got 2 or 3 precepts to, state that what I'm saying is wrong. If you don't, hey, bro, you need to go ahead and figure something else out, because you don't know what you're talking about. Because I gave you the proof. That's it.
Right.
I see that.
Yeah. That's what's going on this. So that's the land tithe. Right. So we're going to so to be holy, you should not be redeemed. So now here, that's what it says. So we can sign it off.
Verse 34. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai.
So this is a commandment on how to bring your questions and answers. That's how it's supposed to be answered. That right there is your land tithe. So let's get a tithe between Abraham and Melchizedek.
Oh.
Great old Mel.
Yes. That's
old buddy Mel.
That's him.
See what Mel was talking about.
Genesis 14:18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High. What's bread and wine?
Wisdom and understanding.
Wisdom and doctrine, yeah. He was a priest of the Most High.
And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth.
Remember I told you guys before, 80, so you guys don't lose a thought.
Now, possessor in that, does it mean he blessed him because he was the teacher of heaven and earth?
What's heaven and earth?
Spiritual and carnal.
I'm going to show you
Carnal
right
what?
now.
Understanding.
Yes.
So
The
you
Most
said
High
that right there?
created it.
Say it again.
Psalms 85:11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
Okay.
So now we go here again.
Okay.
And he blessed, Genesis 14:19. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth.
So that means he is possessor of truth and righteousness. That's what he's saying.
And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all.
Tithes of all of what? The doctrines.
All the questions.
He gave him understanding. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, Give me the persons and take the goods to thyself.
Has anybody seen that movie Shatters? No, am I the only one? There's a part in there when the dude said, Take the money and leave the what? That's what he said. He said, give me the people, but take the doctrine. That's what he just told Abraham. I want the doctrine. Give me the people. I want the money. He want the money. The king of Sodom want the money. Keep the doctrine. That's what he told him right now.
Remember,
the king of Sodom came to Abraham. That's what he told him. Give me the persons, take the goods. What are the persons? Money.
People, the
money. That's merchandise.
And they made merchandise of them people.
Right. Take the goods to thyself. I mean, take them doctrines to yourself. You can keep them doctrines. I want the people.
Now you see, he's showing you again that Sodom ain't talking about them gay people.
Right.
Sodom is talking about these men who are leading these camps. And they want them people as merchandise, not in righteousness. Abraham done got the spiritual doctrine from Melchizedek. Them people say, you can keep that spiritual doctrine. We want this money. That's what he just said.
Right.
Y'all see that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a similitude of today. He's telling you the same thing. It's a similitude of the day. Verse 22. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up mine hand unto the Lord.
I lifted up my doctrine to the Lord. I'm in Jerusalem. I lifted it up. So I'm in Jerusalem.
The Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth. That I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latch, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abram rich.
So I got a question. What would you think a thread would be? What do y'all think a thread is?
Part of a doctrine.
Yes. So would a cord be a thread?
Yes.
So so if a cord is a thread, what would that symbolize in the world today? Anybody understand where I'm going with this? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Why?
It's similar words now. Similar words. Y'all got to think. Similar words.
And doctrine entwined together.
Oh, yes. That's one of them. That's a recent thumbnail.
Right.
Y'all got to see this here. Check these slicky boys. They slicky boys. Oh, slicky boys. Mm-hmm.
So let me show you what a chord is. Since they want to teach us, what is a chord?
Yeah, that's a chord.
We've been saying what a chord is.
Yeah.
What is a chord? What's a chord?
That's them 3 and 1.
3 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
But see, did they know this before?
See what I'm saying? That's why we did that. That's why we did that video on stealing. Because what they doing now, they see now that the people starting to get educated. And whenever they get up there and teach their doctrine, they sound foolish. All right? Because they're teaching carnal doctrines about foolish stuff. And the people, now that they've been exposed to the Most High doctrine, they know clearly that they lying. So they got to work overtime in order to overcome the fact that their doctrine is wrong. All right. So now they're gonna go back to that wonderful video Elder King Yohanan did about fringes, right? Because it was tons of precepts in there telling you about what a cord is, right? What a thread is, what a line is. So when you start when you start talking about, whenever they say precept upon precept, line upon line, you start going to Ezekiel, and that man started talking about he had a line, a plumb line, and all. Y'all see now, it means something. It means something. You starting to be able to decipher what the Most High saying. You get up in there, and he talk about whenever they cross that Jordan River and they got to Jericho, and them 2 guys went up there and told that girl to put a thread, a red thread around that doggone curtain. See what I'm saying? And put your family in your house under this thread. Y'all see stuff start changing now. Now y'all start seeing like, wait a minute. Them men gave her a doctrine.
Right.
They said, you go ahead and convert your people over to this doctrine. Y'all gonna be good. We ain't gonna even have to come in here and convert y'all. We just gonna go and convert the rest of these people in Jericho. Y'all see that?
Yep.
The whole story just changed. Story changed. Y'all see how that happened?
Yeah.
Them men don't know that. So now that they know what we're saying, because y'all sitting there and y'all, the light bulb coming on, y'all saying, oh my God, that's something else, right? So now they want that glory. They want that glory. But it ain't our glory. It's the Most High's glory. We sitting here telling you, if you know what thread, line, or cord means, you can decipher what that stuff talking about too. You ain't got to come to Elder Stephen to figure that out. You can go and look in the book, say those similar words. That's what that means. So now you see those stories and the Most High telling you something. You ain't got to go to them bishops. You can get that out on your own. Them men don't even know what I just said.
Right.
But y'all got it first.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
No glory to me. It's the Most High doctrine.
That's right.
We giving it freely. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now y'all know what he talking about, shoe latchets and threads and all that other stuff. That stuff mean doctrine. Y'all know what that stuff mean now.
Yes, sir.
Genesis 14:23. That I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet. That I will not take anything that is thine.
He didn't want none of the doctrine. He want nothing to do with it.
Right. See that we can't. That's why we say we can't make no covenant with the men. We hear them up there talking about we got to work together. We got to come together to help these people and all that. Man, we ain't coming together under that wicked doctrine. We like Abraham. Hey, look, bro, we don't want a shoe latchet out of that thing.
Right.
We know that doctrine wrong. If we was to make a covenant and start up under you, you know what I'm saying? We done went and put the Most High's doctrine under you. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. The Most High never forgive us. We'll be destroyed for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abraham rich or Abram rich.
So we taught him that doctrine.
That's what they gonna do.
We taught him that doctrine.
Exactly. They gonna say they taught us the spiritual doctrine. Now we following their doctrine. If we make a covenant with them. Y'all see that? They're gonna take credit for it.
Right.
And they're going to use that to put their thumb on those people, even worse. Because the people going to look and they say, well, they know that doctrine. Those guys are super smart and there's nothing we can do. Now, them people done went into captivity again. But they're using the Most High doctrine to put the people into captivity. So, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And you see with that thumbnail, all that stuff, those are mind games that those guys are playing, right? Because they want those people in order under them. Those men are made rich. They're made rich because they're not rich necessarily because they got carnal money. They're rich because they got a lot of doctrines that's got them people in captivity. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what makes them rich.
Right. Now that we got that out the way, let's deal with alms.
Brothers and sisters, if you give alms, let's just say you
should give alms.
Yeah, right. You do it all online. Okay, or you do, on your computer, you'll send it from your bank account. You have the email of that specific school that alms is going to. There should be no reason for you to come. If you see that transaction go through, you want to ask if the school got the transaction. Sister, brother, the alms was for the body. Once you released it, that's it.
You gave it to Jesus.
You gave it to the Lord. It's kind of like almost that Christian mentality. Well, I want to know what you're doing with my alms. Hey, you gave the alms for the betterment of the body.
No one asked the disciples that in the book of Acts.
Not at all.
They didn't ask how you. It says it says that it was given to the disciples and he distributed as men had need. You didn't go to them and monitor who was getting what. Nah, you don't do that.
So now we got this deal with the other shoe, and we're gonna close this out. So we're gonna do an alms. We're gonna go get this done. You go to Acts 3 and 2. It's gonna be a straight cut. We're gonna get right to the point because we know that tithes is questions and answers. That's where. So we're gonna get, is alms possibly the same thing? Could it be? Is it possible?
Yes.
Similar words. Similar words.
Let's read.
Acts chapter 3, verse 2. And a certain man, lame from his mother's womb.
Where's the womb? The mind. So the mother's womb. So if it's the mother's womb, it's talking about what?
Doctrine.
Yes. Let's go. So if he was lame, what type of doctrine did he have?
Carnal.
There you go.
Defiled.
There you go. Yes. Defiled doctrine. There you go.
Yes. Was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful.
Beautiful means the doctrine. It was a spiritual doctrine. Read.
To ask alms.
To ask what?
Alms.
Did it say ask for alms?
No.
It said to what?
To ask alms of them that entered into the temple.
So it seems to me that alms seems to be a question. I don't know. Maybe.
Who, seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked alms.
He did. He asked alms. So he's asking a question.
Y'all see that?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's go down to verse 10. Let's see what his answer was.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Keep reading on down.
Oh, you want to keep going?
Yeah, because it's talking about some miracle that happened. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to read it kind of fast. And Peter, fastening his eyes upon him with John, said, "Look on us." What do you mean to look?
Doctrine.
Understand.
Yes, understand that doctrine. Yes. And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them. So he started listening to what they had to say. Then Peter said, "Silver and gold have I none."
So he ain't talking about carnal money.
Right.
He telling you, I ain't got it. I'm broke, baby.
But such as I have, give I thee.
So I'm going to give you this doctrine that I got.
In the name, what's the name?
Doctrine.
of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up.
We ain't talking about the Falcons.
Rise up and walk.
Go to Jerusalem, and that is your path.
And that's your path, yes.
Start following this doctrine. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Verse 7. And he took him by the right hand.
Where's right hand?
Righteous doctrine.
There we go.
And lifted him up
to
Jerusalem.
There we go.
And immediately his feet,
Doctrine.
and ankle bones. What's a bone?
Bonus is the doctrine too.
Yes, receive strength. That's what that's talking about. Y'all see that? It ain't talking about Peter laying his hands on a man and all of a sudden his bones start straightening up. That's how they teach that. That ain't talking about that. Bone means doctrine. Look at the bottom of the screen. It's got the precepts down there. Y'all see that? That's the miracle. It ain't him making that man's feet and ankles start getting straight. He corrected the man's doctrine.
Right.
Verse 8, and he leaping up stood.
Leaping up? Still, how you leap up and stand at the same time?
Right. Right. And walked. That means he started preaching. And entered with them into the temple. And leaping and praising God. So he started believing.
So how many times y'all done seen that movie and you seen the man on the carpet, the dirty carpet? They had to lift up all over the. Man, come on, man.
Right. And all the people saw him walking and praising God. Walking and praising mean the same thing.
Same thing.
Y'all see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they, verse 10, and they knew that it was he which sat for alms.
That question.
At the beautiful gate of
at that spiritual understanding, at that prophet that's teaching spiritual
of the temple. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him.
So when he's showing right there, the alms was the questions that he was asking.
Yes.
So now we're gonna stay in the same book. We're gonna run on over to Tabitha.
Another miracle.
Right.
Now y'all see, look at how just a little stuff, just a little word. As soon as I said bone, y'all were like, whoa, wait. Ankle, bone, what? Wait a minute. They're correcting his doctrine.
Yeah.
They're not physically using the power of God to make this man walk. Walk mean he preaching. They corrected his doctrine. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Acts 9, verse 36. Now there was at Joppa, that's a doctrine, a certain disciple named Tabitha.
Is that a woman?
Yep.
Is that a woman?
Yes.
But that's a certain disciple. Name, what's her name?
Tabitha.
I never known no many men named Tabitha, homie.
No, not very.
That's a woman.
That's right. Which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman.
This what?
Woman.
This what?
Woman.
This what?
Woman.
There's a disciple. This woman
was full of good works and alms deeds which she did.
So now just looking at that parable, what is alms deeds?
She was answering questions.
See how easy this is? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C.
Money.
Yeah.
Money. Come on, man. Money. It's money. Now it's money. You get it? Y'all starting to see how it works.
Yes.
Come on, man. It's easy. Stop playing games. It's the end times, man.
Yes.
We don't walk this through now. I'm showing you what alms are. Alms are not money that you're paying into a box. It's the same as tithes. They're questions and answers.
Right. Y'all see that? Because these men, they make a great distinction. Like I said before in a previous video. Now they went and they doggone ran Creflo Dollar. He right here in Atlanta. He got a whole bunch of members and all that other stuff, a lot of opulence and all that other stuff. They went outside that man's church. They made a whole bunch of noise, screaming and hollering at them people. That man got before his congregation on camera and said, I was wrong.
Saying to you that I'm still growing and that the teachings that I've shared in times past on the subject of tithing were not correct. And today I stand in humility to correct some things that I've taught for years and believed for years, but could never understand it clearly because I had not yet been confronted with the gospel of grace, which has made the difference. I won't apologize because if it wasn't for me going down that route, I would have never ended up where I am right now. But I will say that I have no shame at all at saying to you, throw away every book, every tape, and every video I ever did on the subject of tithing, unless it lines up with this. I've done some corrective teaching in the last 10 years, but not to the degree of what we're getting ready to do now. So why is this important? Because religion is sustained by two factors: fear and guilt. And if it's one subject that the church has used for a long time to keep people in fear and guilt, it is in that subject of tithing. And it has to be corrected, and it's got to be corrected now.
I'm not going to ask for tithes anymore. In a video that I made in the past saying that you need to give tithes, he said, throw that video away. That's what he said. So now you got a situation where he got the correction from them and he humbled himself. And that man said, I'm not taking tithes anymore. Now, the same method that they use to go and show him he shouldn't be taking tithes, we've used a similar method to tell you what alms are. Alms are questions and answers. Now let's wait and see how long it's going to be before those bishops over there come, because we giving precepts. Y'all seeing the precepts. How long are those men who claim to follow God's law, how long it's going to take them to get in front of that camera and try and be at the very least as righteous as they brother Creflo Dollar? They made all of that noise about that man so-called taking money from people, right? They said he took all that money. Y'all taking the money too, because we just proved tithes, offering, and alms talking about the same thing. Right. So you can't get away from it. You can't get one more on his arms. Let me get this one on arms right quick.
Can we go to Matthew 6:3?
Yeah, we're gonna go there right after this. It's on my notes. We can go right there for you, boss. Read that.
Okay.
Tobit in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 9. For alms doth deliver from death. What's death? What's
Converting.
Death?
Yes.
Okay. Converting. Right. So death, when you are, the death is the carnal doctrine.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Alms deliver you from believing in the carnal doctrine. That makes sense?
Yes.
And shall purge away all sin. What's sin?
Lying.
Lying And it's also that carnal doctrine. The carnal doctrine is the lie,
which is not the truth. So it's still a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie.
That's the
so
lie.
Therefore, the alms gonna deliver you from death and purge away all sin, all lies. Why?
That's right.
You're asking questions.
And
you saying, I need 2 precepts to understand what you're saying, right?
Yes.
That's
what's going on. Yes.
That's what alms is.
Those that exercise alms and righteousness.
Don't run that. No, don't run past that. Read that again.
Those that exercise alms.
Something that you're doing. You exercising, that means it's a practice.
Practice something of asking questions.
Yes.
And getting answers. And righteousness shall be filled with life.
So that's what the alms is about. It's about questions and answers. The alm is when you have a question and you bring it to a gate or elder. You say, hey, can you explain this to me? I need 2 precepts to understand it.
Right.
It's not money in a black box.
Right. That's
it's
correct.
Not you coming to tithe. It's not you coming in and laying money at the altar crying.
Yeah.
Leaving your last little pennies that you have to survive in this world for another man to take.
Right.
You're money to him. That's why he said you are money. Now you're merchandise.
Right.
Because now you believe what he's saying and he's robbing you.
Yes. Yes. Whenever those people, a lot of times over there, whenever we used to be over there in that camp over there, people would give stuff free to those leaders over there. They would give them stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they would say, because they thought that by giving those alms to them, it was going, the Most High would recognize that they did a good deed. But all you doing is giving your money to a thief. That's all you doing.
Now, when we read this, read this to finish this out,
Malachi.
we now get to understanding what this means.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 8. Will a man rob God?
Would you take this prophet, this sheep, this ox, this person away from me?
Yep.
That's what he's telling you. He's asking you right now. Are you going to turn around and turn your back on the Most High God for money?
Right.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yes.
Read.
Surely.
Yet ye have robbed me.
You have done it.
Yes.
I asked you the question, will a man rob God? Hell yeah, he would.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
And he's speaking to the Levites. That's the priests. That's the prophets. He talking to the prophets.
Right.
But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee?
We ain't lying.
Right.
We're doing work. We're doing work out here on the street, beating up our brothers.
Yes. Right.
You robbing God of his people. You're not teaching the Gentiles.
Right.
You're robbing people. You turn them away from God because you turn them into murderers and haters.
Yes.
So they're turning their way, their natural way of being peaceful, you're turning them away. So that means they're turning away from God. So he asked, how have you robbed thee? How have you robbed them?
In tithes and offerings.
In questions and answers. The offering is your teaching.
Yes.
So when somebody came with you with a tithe, the question, the offering is you responding to them.
Yes.
You sacrifice that question, meaning you go in there and you find 2 precepts to explain it, and you teach it back to them. You offer it back to them. Your understanding.
Yes. Verse 9. Ye are cursed with a curse.
Deuteronomy 28, 16 through 68.
Yes.
You are cursed with those curses because you're reading the Bible carnally.
Yes.
You're reading the Bible through the earth, your natural mind. The earth is cursed. That's why. For ye have robbed me. For ye have robbed me. Because you're reading the Bible carnally. And you're cursing the people, and you got the people in captivity because it's money. You taking away God's money.
Yes.
For your own money.
Yes.
Read.
Even this whole nation.
Even this whole nation, meaning who? Israel.
Israel. Yeah.
That's right.
Even this nation, Israel. You took them and you robbed them from God. All those prophets that sit there with them curtain bottoms on there, they're supposed to be actually doing it for real for God. But you turn them to serve you.
Yes.
So you rob God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse.
Bring them questions to the elders of Israel.
Yes.
This is the storehouse.
Yes.
Right.
Read.
That there may be meat in mine house.
Hebrews 5:14, 12 through 14. The meat is deep understanding. Inside his house, the Lord's house, the Lord's church. You are the Lord's church. So the deep understanding will be inside you. Read.
And prove me now herewith.
Bible says, prove all things. How? 2 precepts.
2 or 3
2 or more precepts. Yes. Read.
Says the Lord of hosts. If I will not open up the windows of heaven, who the windows?
We
are prophets.
Yes. The prophets are the windows, right? And pour you out a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to pour out? What's that talking about?
Pours out. There you go. Because it's water, right? Liquid, right?
Yes.
Water.
Kind of liquid. Yeah, go ahead.
To pour out a blessing. So a blessing, what type of liquid is that?
Spiritual.
There we go. Right.
That there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Remember, I don't know if you saw in the other scripture that he said that Elder pulled about the guy that was doing the work for the Lord. He said there's no more room. There's more room in here. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It was back in was Luke when he had?
He said
there's
talking about the highways and hedges.
Yes, he said there's room in it, but there's still room. He said that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Meaning in your mind. Because you got so much information.
Yes.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Not so much room in your mind to receive. It's blowing your mind.
Yes.
So with the last one, we can close it with this.
Malachi 3:11. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes.
He's going to rebuke all those that put you in those carnal camps, carnal churches. He's going to correct them with what? The word. Because you've been crying up for understanding.
Now you know a devourer is a worm. The Most High called Jacob a worm. Okay, that carnal doctrine. Y'all see that? That's in I think it's in Isaiah. What is it, either Isaiah 41 or Isaiah 14? One of the two. I get them twisted up. But he called Jacob a worm. Right? So that's what he taught. The devourer is Jacob. Jacob is the one got that carnal doctrine. Y'all see that? He said, I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground.
The ground is what? Curse, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Fruit is what? Fruit come from the tree, from that prophet.
That's the word.
That's his doctrine.
Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts.
So neither shall your vine cast her fruit, so your teachers are not going to be able to teach before the time. What time? What time is he talking about? What understanding? Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before her fruit.
What's
woman.
the fruit?
Doctrine.
Yes, her fruit before the time. Time is understanding. In the field is what? The doctrine.
The world, right?
The world. The car.
Yep. Thus said the Lord God. So
now they used to tell you, they teach this to say, the Most High, if you following the law, statutes, and commandments, them carnal commandments that they got, the Most High prevent bugs and stuff from eating up your garden. And I'll never forget. I was in Camp 101 way back in the day. And there's one guy. He came in there. He asked a question, and he said, "You know, I've got a garden, And all of the bugs and so forth have been eating up my garden. Does that mean that I'm in sin? That's because of the way that they teach that thing. They make those people actually think that the Most High gonna stop bugs who He made now. Right? He gonna stop bugs from eating the fruit of the righteous. Seriously, I mean, and it's so crazy, but that's how whenever you in a cult, right, and you brainwash, and them people get you to believing that that this is talking carnally, but that can't happen because everybody have to go and get some kind of pesticide in order to kill bugs that's devouring fruits and vegetables in their garden. It ain't talking about that, but they so carnal, right? They don't give the people the understanding. So the people walk around asking stupid questions. And these guys don't even have, like the guy asked that question. That's a question or answer. That means he giving tithes. He giving alms. Y'all see that? But they ain't giving him nothing in return. They sitting up in there making some stuff up. Say, hey brother, you might need to repent, or whatever. See what I'm saying? Cause they don't know. So they'll rather just lie to him and make it like they used to say over there where we was in over there in IUIC Atlanta. Strong and wrong, brother. Strong and wrong. Say it with your chest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Say it with your chest, brother.
They're just prolonging the ignorance.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But that's how they feast on them people. That's why the Most High say they tear the flesh. The flesh is the wisdom, the understanding of a person. Their doctrine. They tear that flesh. So here this man walking around literally thinking if he pray, the Most High gonna make all the bugs go away.
Okay.
That's it. But Elder Tobias, you said you had a scripture you wanted to go to?
Matthew 6 about the alms too. It's one of the strongholds that they're using.
Yes.
Matthew 6, which verse?
3.
Oh, 3? Yep. Oh, no. Go back.
Go back to 1. Yeah. Well, just start at 1.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
So what is he doing? Take heed that your alms not before men. What is he doing? He's going to make more sense in verse 2.
Therefore, when thou doest thine alms,
thine alms.
Do not sound a trumpet before.
Didn't it say raise your voice like a trumpet?
Do not.
It said do not do that.
As the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets.
He said don't even go in the streets. He called them hypocrites. He said those who pay alms, that they pay alms, they do not sound the trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do. So what do the hypocrites do in the streets? Don't they sound trumpets in the streets? Don't they blow trumpets? He said that's a hypocrite that do that. If you blowing trumpets in the streets, you're a hypocrite. Do not sound the trumpet before thee, but they blow trumpet before class and before they're in the street. God said they hypocrites. I hope y'all see that.
Yes.
It's also a little deeper than that. Remember, it's layers.
Yes.
Right.
So now, whenever you say, therefore, when thou doest thine alms, right? When you got a question or you got a comment to make, don't sound a trumpet before you. Okay, don't go up in there and start saying, well, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Say, wait till they get my question, and all this other kind of stuff. You don't want to do that.
Or don't be coming into somebody's post and posting something you have no idea what you're posting about.
Right.
That's
right.
That's sounding a trumpet.
Yes.
Because he said, "Do not sound thy trumpet before thee." So all you have to do is write us secretly.
Yes.
That's what he's telling you to do. Don't ask your question in front of everybody. Ask him on the side.
Yes. Yes.
So you don't get embarrassed.
Right.
Because it's not about embarrassing you.
Right.
Now, when you sound the trumpet and you do it in front of everybody, now I have to correct you in front of everybody.
Right.
Now I possibly can offend you.
Right. Right.
That's why he's telling you not to do that.
Right. So it's still talking about you got to remember it's talking about questions and answers. Questions and answers. Now, what he was talking about earlier, he was talking about the carnal understanding of that. They go and they don't understand what it means.
Right.
So they're going through the process of doing what they think they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
All right. But it ain't talking about what they talking about.
No.
Alms is questions and answers.
Answers, right.
Remember that.
So when he tell you, don't do as hypocrites do in the synagogues or in the streets. They may have glory of men. So what they do, how would you have glory? You asking these deep questions, and what they tell you? Stay in the milk, brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you asking a deep.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
Or they embarrass you.
Right.
Yes.
But what the person doing, they trying to like you used to be sitting up in there in the camp, and then this guy will get up in there and they say, anybody got any questions? And then the guy come up in there and he trying to make everybody think he's smart. All right. He want to be the smartest man in the room. Right. Now, that's what a hypocrite do. He want to go up in there. He don't care nothing about the Most High. He just want to look like the smartest man in the room. Right. But he doing it in the synagogue to have the glory of men. Them men don't know the Most High doctrine. So you getting up in there, putting on a show, and these dudes are calm, right? Most High don't like that. And then they end up coming telling you some foolishness, or they tell you to shut up because, you don't need to know that. Why you self-willed, whatever they gonna say. And then they end up telling you to stay in the milk, brother.
What's that one that say don't matter in metals that's too deep for you? That's what they hit you with.
Right, right. So it says, verily I say unto you, you have your reward.
You got your reward because you did it in front of everybody. You got your reward. You got your embarrassment.
Exactly. Hold on a second.
That's true.
Okay. Matthew chapter 6.
Isn't that kind of the same as he is his money?
Yes.
Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Right.
Say that one more time, Misha.
That last one that you just read, isn't he saying the same thing as that verse that ends with he is his money?
Exodus 21. You say
Exodus 21. 21. Yeah.
Yes.
He converted them. Yep.
But when thou doest alms, let not the left hand, the unrighteous, know what thy right hand, the righteous, do it. You understand? Don't go up in there giving no alms to no unrighteous man. That's what he tells you. Don't go ask them wicked men no questions. He said they don't know nothing.
Right.
That's what he telling you. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Why catch your pearl to swine?
That's exactly the same thing what he just said. Verse 4. That thine alms may be in secret. Secret. When the Most High started talking about secret, he talking about spiritual.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Secret means spiritual.
Yes.
Precepts at the bottom. Y'all see it. And thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. See, the Most High, he gonna be the one. You asking question to the priest like he told you to, he gonna reward you with understanding.
Openly. Why? Why? Because we teach the class and we'll say this brother had asked a question.
Yes.
And so we gave you the praise for asking the question.
Yes. He gonna get the credit.
Right.
He gonna get the credit. A lot of these classes that y'all seeing is classes of us taking questions, because sometimes people don't want to, they don't want to put their name out there. They kind of, they don't want everybody to know.
They're shy,
whatever. And so we try to be considerate, to those people, to make sure that, well, we don't want to put you on the spot or whatever, but whatever question you got, somebody else may have. That's the arm. Because the Most High said, them people the ones that's got the questions. Right. You can't sit here. You done learned some of these words and all that other stuff. Your perspective done changed now. You done got a little understanding, right? But if somebody sitting over here ain't got no understanding, right? And they've been going to church or they've been going to them camps and they've been wanting to know something all this long time and they ain't never got their question answered. The Most High say, now I'm going to send you prophets of my own heart. Go start asking them questions so you can go ahead and get right. That's what our job is. And we're going to take every question that we get, we try and answer it as quickly as possible. But some of those questions are so compelling, we have to do a video on it. That's just the way the Most High say. Get up in there because I want other people to see that. And later on, hey, there ain't a whole bunch of people watching it now. Later on, somebody will come up in there and them people will start seeing that it's up in there. It might be 2 weeks from now. It might be a month from now. Them people start going in there and they start watching the videos because people got these questions. Once they figure out that they actually getting their questions answered, that's what makes the difference.
They sit back and they learning right now from us. Because pretty soon that spirit, they're going to be consumed with this fire.
Yes.
That's the reason why I'm not worried. Y'all see it right now. That fire, nothing happened to me. But let's say that I probably have to do something. And I know automatically y'all in good hands.
Oh, praise the Most High.
That's what happens. Things, because see, sooner or later, he'll bring you to step up.
Like you guys did today.
Yeah.
You guys definitely did that today. So I hope you guys understand today about the tithes, alms. They got the full 7 day on that. What they are? They are in fact questions and answers. So we got those who asked that question. I hope you learned. And if you have any more questions, you can write us at eldersofisrael@eldersofisrael.net, and we can try to elaborate a little bit more. But I think this has been very thorough on breaking down what tithes and alms are.
Yes.
Right?
All right. Well, if that's all, then we're going to go on ahead and bid out everybody a shalom. And until next time, y'all keep the faith and keep studying. I like the way y'all answering them questions and doggone bringing them precepts forward.
Precepts flying,
man. All praises to the Most High.
All praises.
All praise to the Most High.